you're thinking for him. You said that men only respect information from men. He's asking you to do it. He's saying, I think you can tell me better. I would like to hear from you. Are you able to answer
Okay,
it, or do
so
you just not? Are you just unable to
no, no, I
explain
do.
it
I
to
have
the
the
question?
information. I have the
Okay.
information, and I tried to answer it, but he wouldn't let me answer.
Okay,
Private
Uchi, can
citizen
you allow her
confirmed
to
it.
answer it without interrupting her? So Uchi, go ahead and mute, and she's going to answer the question for you without you interrupting. Go ahead, Supreme. I'm gonna allow you
Okay,
the space
so
to do that.
women
Jordan,
have
I got you.
always
1 second. I'm sorry.
women have always had ways of using different herbs to stop pregnancy. They've done different things. This is historic, where they stop their bodies from being used as breeding machines to perpetuate capitalism. One of those instances was in slavery. Women used herbs to get rid of fetuses. And of course they did this in silence, but it was done. This is not the first time something like this has ever been done. It's been done before, and they did this in a form of protest because they knew, one, their children would probably be sold away from them, two, their children wouldn't really have a good life, and three, they were slaves. So they decided to halt reproduction and halt engagement so they can preserve themselves and not bring further children into a nightmare. That's all I'm
Not the
saying, and he wouldn't let me
not the
finish.
same. Not the same though. That's
Sorry,
not the same.
okay. Uchi, did she answer the question?
No, not really, but I'll take that. Now, my next question is this more so politics, or is this based off of your own individual or collective anger towards men at this point?
I already answered that question, sir. I
I
told you
wasn't
that
here. I wasn't
I
here.
don't think this has anything to do with
no
male
one is
anger.
angry. No one is angry with men, Uchi. You want me to be angry, but I'm
No,
not. I'm
no, I'm
actually.
asking. Look. I don't sit here and say I want you to do anything. I'm
You're
asking
yelling,
questions.
sir. You're yelling, and I don't
Listen,
understand why.
I clearly said I haven't voiced my opinion on anything. I'm taking it as
Okay.
knowledge. That's all I'm doing. And you're projecting on me. All I asked was a question.
Okay.
I
When
haven't
I
said
can speak.
anything. I haven't lashed out
Okay.
at you. I haven't argued with you. All I'm doing is asking you questions. And you are on the defense because I'm asking you questions. That's all I did. Is just ask you a question. I haven't voiced my opinion. I haven't went back and forth. Nothing. I've even said anything. I just asked a question. I asked 2 questions, 3. I asked about my daughter. I asked about the politics, and I just asked the last question. That's all I've done is ask questions. And you've been the one, you're the one that's like angry and leeching out at me for no fucking reason. I just asked a question.
Let's
You're
get
being
you
very
together.
hostile. I just
So,
asked a
Miss
question.
Supreme, so Miss
If I
Supreme,
could,
I apologize. I don't wish to jump ahead, but Miss Supreme, can I help you for a second? Is that okay?
Yes, thank you, Uchi, for that insight. I really appreciate your response. Thank you.
Miss Supreme, I'm asking respectfully, can I help you in
Oh,
this
yes,
discussion?
ma'am. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
So this is not directed to anybody. I'm just offering a bit of clarity to help Miss Supreme. What we need to understand is that this is not the first time in history that women have decided, you know what I'm saying, to limit their men's access to them and to limit the
thank you.
birth rate. May I finish respectfully? So even back into ancient times in Egypt, there was an herb called silphium. It's spelled Silphium. Silphium was a herb that grew that had a flower. And it grew wild everywhere. I want you all to hear me very well. What I'm saying to you, you can Google it for yourself. This herb, when you pluck it and make a tea from it, you know what I'm saying, it would induce, you know what I'm saying, the ending of a pregnancy. Women used this herb so much. It used to grow wild like weeds. But when the men became aggressive and they started to like war and there was so much strife going on, the women used the herb so much, it is no longer even available. The herb went extinct because the
You a
women were
lie.
using. Listen, let
Plan
me tell
B.
you something. First of all,
Plan B.
I'm going to say this.
Plan B is that same
Ty,
goddamn
this is
herb.
what I don't
Kari,
do. Ty, I
Kari, you
don't
know
do
Jordan
this.
mom ain't gonna argue with you.
He should be ashamed of himself. I don't do this. I'm just here to help the sister. I'm not going to argue, you know what I'm saying, with this man.
But you
The
talking
sec-
about a herb, but
I'm
Plan B
not
is the
talking
same
to
thing.
you. I'm
Plan B
not
is the same
talking.
Okay,
thing
but
though.
she's
Take
talking
your
about the herb.
GED and put it in
So
your
okay, wait a
pocket.
minute, hold on, Jordan. How are you gonna say she lying then? So the herb, okay, so the plan B may be made of different ingredients, Kari. If you could prove differently, go ahead and give me that research, put it together, and show me that is made. Is that plan B is made from that same ingredient? If you can't, don't tell her she's lying. She gave you the spelling of it and everything, so you can look it up for yourself without calling her a liar.
Okay, the second thing I would say to you is, if you know your history, there was a time when it was thought that you need more women to create more babies when it came to slavery. But there was a law that was passed that said you cannot bring any new slaves into the Americas. So what they did was they created laws, two laws. One law says that the heritage of a child follows the mother, which means that the child of a slave could not inherit from the father if the father was white. That was the first law. The second law weaponized the womb of the black woman and said that, you know what I'm saying, they were required, you know what I'm saying, to give birth to these children, and that those children were owned indeed by the people who owned them. In response to this, making women become birthing machines, they started to use mugwort, the same practice, to end their pregnancies. These are two things that demonstrate for you that this movement is nothing new. There are lots of women across the nation who have decided that they will not date, that they will not seek the company of a man until they meet someone who is established and who is exceptional in his behavior. That essentially is the 4B movement. There just was not a name for it. Now, women who make good choices, who find excellent partners, they have given somebody else, girl, I waited. He had to demonstrate A, B, C, D, E, and F before I would even go on a date with him. So now we're sharing the information, and we find that our attitudes and our practices are similar to those with the Asian women. That's all we're saying. It's not new. It's just that TikTok gives us an avenue to share information and to share practices. I don't know why you all alarmed. You have your attitudes and your aggressiveness up in arms when all you have to do is treat a woman nice, be kind, genuinely kind, and you won't have these problems. But instead of being kind, you all rather argue and fight with us.
May I say something, Ms. Jordan? I really want to thank you for educating me on that. That's the answer that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? As I said, I'm not. Someone made a comment that I'm asking questions in emotion. No, I'm not. I'm just asking questions because I am uneducated on these things, and it seems like I'm getting attacked because I'm admitting that I'm uneducated on the situation. I want to know exactly what's going on so I can be better aware before I even speak on it. And, you know, so like I said, Ms. Jordan, thank you so much. I think that you really need to take Supreme's job because you did an excellent job as far as
Now, Uchi, that's that divide and conquer bullshit. Now she came
I'm
in
not
her
dividing
sister.
in
Listen,
that's my
you listen.
opinion. That's my
Let me
opinion.
help you. Let me
Because
help
every
you.
time I've asked
But
Supreme a question, she has yet to be able to answer my question.
I
But
She
get it.
hasn't been
So
able to answer
let me
anything
let
that
me
I've
let me
asked
give
her.
let me say this. She came in to help her sister. She came in to help. But
Yes, sir.
then to now say you need to take her job, it creates that divide concept. Like you need to now, it's a competitive mindset of women against women. So no, she
I
came in
don't
to
think so. I
assist.
don't.
It does. That's what happens when we do things like that. So I thank you, Jordan's mom, for clearing it up for him. But she cleared it up to help Supreme. She came in.
I
Supreme,
really.
can I help you? Tag me in. Let me help you, sis.
I
Because
mean,
there's different people that have different understandings, and she gave you a different understanding. Thank you, Jordan, for
but
doing that.
Supreme
Now,
didn't
Uchi,
give me
now stop.
understanding at all. She tried to
Right,
He
play.
so
doesn't.
Jordan
She tried to
did.
He
play it off in
doesn't.
private. I asked
Jordan
her a
He's
did.
question.
not. He's not really. I think he's triggered because he's not that bright, and that's
Uchi,
And
fine
look,
no,
here
too.
she is
stop,
claiming
Yeah.
my
Supreme.
intelligence. You see what
Hold
I'm
on.
saying?
Y'all stop.
You
Both of
see what
y'all
I'm
stop.
saying?
God damn it.
But
Hold
that's
on.
okay though for her to do that, right? And all I
I
did was
just
ask
told
her
her
a
to
question.
stop, Uchi.
Mr.
I
Uchi,
just
hold
told
on.
her to stop. Now y'all
So,
help with
Mr.
the money.
Uchi,
Now
I'm
that was
trying to
beyond
cook.
disrespectful.
I told her to
I
Mr.
gave
stop.
Uchi,
Jordan
hold
her
on.
flowers for being such an educated woman and helping me to understand. And here's Supreme sitting here bashing me on my
But
intelligence.
Mr.
My
Uchi,
bad that I dropped out of school in the ninth
Mr.
grade.
Uchi,
I mean the
Mr.
eighth grade, and
Matt,
I didn't break the barriers
Mr.
of you
Uchi,
and go to
come
college and
on.
things of that sort.
you
I just
should go
want
back to school,
I
sir,
mean,
and
I'm
you need
Mr.
to
just
take
Supreme,
some
let me,
anger management classes.
Mr. Supreme, Mr. Uchi,
disrespected. I feel
I,
Yeah.
disrespected.
Mr. Uchi,
I
let
think
me
you
say
need to
this.
speak to
Hold
someone,
on.
sir. You need to
Supreme,
talk to
hold
someone about
on.
that anger.
About I don't have
Yeah.
any anger. You just called me dumb.
Y'all, come on,
Yeah.
come on. Let Jordan
You just
mediate. I'm
called
It's
me
trying to
okay.
dumb.
cook.
Hey, Bree,
I'm
You just
trying to
called
cook.
me dumb.
Wait, y'all.
It's
Jordan
okay,
help the
darling.
argue over y'all. I need Jordan help.
No, you're not. You're
Jordan said he
not
need
dumb.
his
You're
help.
just stupid. And that's
Oh,
there's a
Hey,
see
difference
what I'm
between
saying?
dumb and
Now,
stupid.
look, and you're saying this in front of my
You are.
5-year-old. You know that my
Uchi,
daughter's right here. You said this in front of my daughter.
Okay,
Oh
Uchi, you
my
is
God. I know I'm getting
smart.
out of here. I can't take
Have
Uchi,
her
this.
you
leave
is
the room
I
then,
smart.
can't take
You
or
is
this.
you could
These
leave.
smart.
women are in here
You is
beating and
important.
bashing men. I'm okay. I'm out of
No,
here.
stop it,
I'm out
Uchi.
of here.
Stop it, Uchi. Go ahead, Jordan.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was going to use this analogy because you speak to me in their language. If this were a basketball game, all I did was the assist. Miss Supreme, it was you who performed the dunk. I just gave you the alley-oop, girl. That's all.
Tell her. That's sisterhood.
That's right. Sometimes we got to assist each other. That's all. I'm sorry. And I apologize that he
Thank you
said
so
those things.
much, Jordan's mom. I think you're great. Thank you for
We too
helping me out.
mature. We too mature to let
Thank
men
you.
divide and
I
conquer
don't
us
think it's
over here. We
Supreme
don't play those
to
games.
to bring up another point though. I think it's Supreme's fault that that guy couldn't understand basic correlations in history. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
She
so
she
let
was
me
she was explaining it to him, and then he said, I don't agree with those facts." And then someone re-explains the same thing to him, and now he agrees. Like, really?
let me squeeze up in here a little bit, man.
Hold
What's
on, Uchi.
up,
Go ahead,
T?
Kev. Hey, Kev. How you doing, baby?
I'm good. I'm good. You already know. So since we got two strong people that's on this thing, maybe I can get these answers. I've been going all around TikTok trying to ask for these answers, get an answer for these questions. Uh, so either Jordan's mom or
Hold on one
Supreme.
second. Let me say this real quick. Y'all
Okay.
make sure y'all support my panel. Supreme has her own platform. Jordan is the shit. I don't know Private. I know PQ got some information. Kari is my favorite troll. Laugh is so good. He dope. Crip has added some good stuff to it. Private. Thank y'all for being here. Um, but Supreme's gifts does go to women and children. So if y'all do support her, make sure y'all understand that. Mine's don't, but you can still send me my gifts, my money guns. But Supreme's does go to women and children. So if y'all do want to support her, make sure y'all do that. They
Also,
are joining my platform. Go ahead.
to be a part of this movement, I don't charge women a dime. I'm not charging you for a subscription. There's no fee for the WhatsApp. I have my own personal life outside of the West 4B. It's now become my second job because of the popularity. If women are interested in becoming a part of this, we have a website, west4bmovement.com. I got two working volunteers who want to help me out. So west4bmovement.com, we have an application. There's a vetting process. You're going to need to upload a photo, a voice note, and that's it. We're going to have our own meetings, our own Zooms. We're going to have our little powwows. We're meeting with women in South Korea soon. So things are going to be happening for us. And again, you're not being charged to engage. Everything is free. I don't take from women. I always give. And that's it. Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, and also one second, Kev.
I appreciate you, Supreme.
Also, when you gift me, my gifts do go to T because that's the only way I can spend money on the app. So gift me also, and my stuff go to T. Just so all right then. Tap the screen. Tap the screen. Tap the screen.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. We good. All right. So I got a question. All right, man. So I want to ask this, and I'm glad that you're doing what you're doing, Supreme and stuff. I found out I guess you're the maker of it. I don't know, whatever. But that's cool though. At least we got that a woman can find some type of way to find themselves. So if that was the problem, it is what it is. Thank you for your services. So I just wanted to know. First off, would these be the same women that supported the body count don't matter thing? That's my first question.
No, sir.
Oh,
So,
okay, okay,
Supreme,
okay.
Supreme, may I answer?
That I never no sir.
Okay,
Okay.
so may I answer also?
Go ahead, Jordan.
So what we have to do sometimes is be fair. Oftentimes there's an overlap. You know what I'm saying? There's a subset of people who might be in both categories, but as a rule, no, they're not the same women, sir. But there can be some overlap to be fair and transparent.
Oh, okay. So the second question now. At least we get some answers now. Cool. Because I've been going around this app, couldn't find. Because like I said, it's good that y'all got to do what y'all got to do, and I feel like everybody got to find different ways to either heal or find themselves and stuff. So it is what it is, you know. I'm good with that. So the other question is, in America, right? Because it makes sense in Korea, but in America, it's like who forcing y'all to be with these type of men or whatever men y'all trying to be with and be around them? Who's forcing y'all?
So Supreme, let me take this if you don't mind, and you can follow up. So,
Yes, please.
okay, so I'm gonna say this to you, and I mean this in the most respectful manner. It's insulting when you say to us, "Who's making us be with these men?" I want you to hear me well. I have no dog in this fight. I'm just sharing to help my sister. What happens is people have genuine hearts, and you meet a person and you believe them when they tell you that they're A, B, C, and D. They're nice to you. They make you laugh. You're happy. You gel together. You mesh. You know what I'm saying? And so you walk in with good intentions to become a couple. And you find out 3 months in that he's married. You find out 4 months in that he got kids that he doesn't visit. You find out, you know what I'm saying, that he been to prison or got, this going on. You find out, you know what I'm saying, that his check is being garnished for child support 6 months in.
Crypto, I'm
And
over.
you may
Hold on.
have some one.
Hold on, Jordan. Who was talking? Was it private or crypto? I just need to rotate one of y'all real quick, but y'all can come back up. I'm sorry, Jordan, to interrupt you.
I drop.
It's,
I'm a drop. I'm a drop.
you
I'm
can
a drop.
rotate
I'm a
me. You
drop.
Okay,
can
Byron.
rotate me.
No, I'm a drop. I'm a drop.
Well, just
Okay.
one of y'all just drop. I'm sorry, Jordan, to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the point that I'm trying to make is this: by the time
Hey,
that all of these decisions have been revealed, the woman
hey, Jordan, real quick, Jordan, real quick, before you even do that, right? I meant to say without deflecting though. So I didn't really ask if how did it make you feel or if it was disrespectful. I never asked it. It just was a simple question. I was just saying, who is either whether you answered or not, who is forcing y'all into these situations? Because in Korea they're getting forced. Over here they're not.
but Mr. Laugh, let me say this respectfully. See, this is part of our problem. When you all
Without
wonder,
deflecting, I never
yeah,
asked it.
Mr. Laugh, you asked me a question, sir. So I would respectfully like the space, you know what I'm saying, and the uninterrupted time to answer in my way. You don't get to dictate how I answer, sir. So respectfully, permit me to finish without interruption. What oftentimes happens is this behavior right here. Maybe, just maybe, our situations are not the same as the women in Asia, but it is this repulsive behavior by men. You talk over us, you bully us, you think that we don't know anything and that you know everything. You can have zero experience and you could have fucked up your entire life, but you feel like despite your fuck ups that you could come to a new woman's life and fuck up her life too, and you want to be treated. Because I'm the man and because I got a penis, I should be leading. We're sick of it. We just want to be treated with equality and respect. We want our opinions to matter and we want consideration to be given to us in a relationship, in a marriage when it comes to decisions. You keep asking us to contribute financially to the whole. But if I contribute, I should have an opinion. I should have a vote or a say in what is being done. If I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me correctly, there was an entire war. The Revolutionary War was fought because America said the monarch in England cannot tax me and not give me a say in how the taxes are spent. That's taxation without representation. Is this not the same thing? In the workplace, sir, you all are the first people to ask for fairness, equity, equal pay, meritocracy in the workplace. And you expect everybody to support your pleas. But when a woman says within a marriage, we want fairness, equity, meritocracy, consideration, kindness, and respect, you act like we're asking for $1 million. It is these attitudes that make women become repulsed every time y'all open y'all mouth. No, our situations are not the same as Asian women, but our repulsion for your behavior, it is equivalent. When you all open your mouth, it's like talking to a goddamn caveman. Who want to deal with that? Not to mention some of you are physically abusive. You call us out our name. You don't like what we say. So then I got to be reduced to, being something other than what my parents named me. And you want us to sign up for that? Fuck you and bye. We don't want that.
But didn't that young lady just call me stupid just a minute ago?
Mr. Uchi, you sit here.
Why can't you answer my
Who's
question?
talking to you?
Yeah,
I was giving an
Hold
outline
on,
of
yeah.
my
hold on,
opinion,
but
Uchi.
yet,
Can y'all not
okay, but look,
please,
I was
please? I don't want to
forming
mess this flow up.
I'm proving a point. I'm proving a
again.
point.
I
Jordan
was
is not
I'm
gonna
proving
forming.
a
argue with
point.
y'all. I'm
I'm
telling
Yeah, she
proving
y'all.
a
not.
point.
I don't want to throw this off though. I don't want to throw it off. So okay, I'm okay. Cool. That's
Hold on.
cool.
Hold on.
Oh my
Again,
gosh.
I was Mr. Laugh. Allow me to finish. You can have the floor. I was respectful to everybody. I'm always respectful to you all. But you got this bootleg,
Supreme, you got
backwoods,
a good
ghetto
partner.
mentality that you can just talk over us like we don't matter. Who anointed you king? Nobody. This is Ty space, and y'all in here running roughshod over everybody because you think you somebody. You're not anybody
I asked a
until the
question.
woman makes you somebody.
I just asked questions. I haven't made a
Gonna be
statement.
That's
I
what
real.
I
just
was
keep asking
talking to
questions.
you
But I asked you a question
with
though.
your tender feelings.
But I
You're so
asked you a
To
sensitive.
be honest,
how? Because I'm asking you a question. That means I'm into my feelings. There's
I
just
was
questions.
speaking, Uchi. I was speaking, and you
And I
don't have
asked
enough
you a question
self-control,
though.
and you're still talking.
But I
You're
asked you
still,
a question.
you're still talking
I
in
asked
the
Supreme questions.
midst
I asked you
in the
questions. You guys
midst of
all
my
keep avoiding my
commentary.
questions
Let
though.
me say this again.
Why do you all keep
In the
avoiding my
midst of
questions?
my
It sounds like
commentary,
you're in your
you're like
feelings
a
at the moment.
toddler. In the midst
It
of my
sounds like you're in your
commentary,
feelings
you
at the
just want
moment.
to be
It
seen. So
sounds
you
like
gotta
you're in
jump
your
your
feelings at the
ass up
moment.
and down
All
until
I've
somebody
asked was
answer you.
questions. That's all I did. Ask questions.
I
And you guys,
wasn't
to
talking
be
and
to you,
you
honest,
guys
Uchi.
still called me dumb. You called me stupid for
Hey,
That
asking
was
questions.
her. Did
Uchi,
I
bro,
say that to
I
you?
mean, bro, like she not even
I'm not
answering my
emotional.
question. You gonna ask her a question? Like, come on, man.
You goddamn crybaby. You're so sensitive. Get the fuck
Yeah,
out of
so
here.
I'm my bad for asking you a question then.
Don't y'all
can I
piss
say
my
something
Jordan
after
off.
everybody get done?
Yeah,
Can I
my
say
bad.
Somebody, he
something?
got an
I'm not
echo.
gonna ask her a
Somebody, he
question
got an
again. I
echo.
don't want to ask her a question again because she making it longer than about her. Can you
Somebody
mute
got
this
an
other
echo.
dude?
Somebody got an
Can you mute
echo.
the other dude? I cannot hear myself.
Arthur, that's why you keep getting dropped.
Yeah.
You ain't got
So
the
matter of
house.
fact, I'm gonna skip past. I'm gonna skip past because I messed up. I guess I asked the wrong person the question. So I don't know if Supreme not gonna do it. Then can I ask you T then, man? Because it's just simple. It's really simple though.
She volunteered to answer it. What was the question again?
So T, okay, I'm gonna ask you first, Supreme. Okay, in these situations in America, who's forcing women or the y'all to be with the guys y'all choose to be
No one
with?
is
Nobody's
forcing.
forcing them.
No one is
Okay,
Huh?
forcing
go ahead.
women to do
Okay,
anything,
thank
sir.
you. That's all thank you. My gosh, it's simple. Oh, thank you. All right, and then my last one. I swear I'm done after this, man. So, bro, let me finish, bro. Let me finish, bro.
Let him speak.
Dog, do this dude not hear something? Mute this dude. The freak. I don't know what's going on. I see why they be doing that 4B move. Cause man, what the heck? But this is the last one. So with this, it seemed like that the with the 4B movement, it seemed like that they make it seem like the problem, the reason why they can't get themselves together is like basically it seemed like they was messing with a lot of men. So the reason why they have to basically decenter men or not date men and all that stuff, they basically saying they got to find themselves through this movement or something like that. So I'm trying to
Not
see
not
like
necessarily.
that's
Not
what y'all
necessarily.
that's what the problem really is because it's
No, not necessarily, Mr. Laugh or Learn. That's not
okay.
necessarily true. I think for the most part, women all over the world are just exhausted. I think they're exhausted for a lot of the laws placed against their body. In South Korea, I think they were exhausted with patriarchal rule and how that oppressed women and how that looks for women. Again, men don't really see patriarchy as a problem, even though patriarchy is a problem to them. So, in regards to the United States, someone here said, well, you ladies in the Americas have more rights than the women in Korea. That's not actually true. Korean schmorshans, because you can't say the other word on TikTok, was decriminalized in 2002. Whereas women in the United States, we're losing Roe v. Wade. We may lose Roe v. Wade in 50 states. Also, they're talking about lowering the age of consent for marriage from 16 to 14. They're also talking about getting rid of birth control. They're also talking about no fault divorce being taken off the table. So women in the United States are not more liberated or free than women in Korea. The women in Korea have all of those rights. They're just choosing not to engage. And again, I don't want to say that the West 4B movement is the reason why the birth rates are so low in Korea. No, this is a war that went on before this that made the birth rate so low. And again, birth rates are usually low because of something that men did. When men ravaged the planet with war, women have less children. So we cannot say the birth rate is happening because women are doing this West 4B. No, women are not going to have kids if they can't afford it. And again, this is why patriarchy hurts, because we don't have enough money to have children. So people are having less children. Now, if the men at the top decided to allocate resources equally amongst us all so that we can all live in abundance and have children because we want to and we are comfortable doing so while paying our mortgages, while working and not being overburdened by working 2 and 3 jobs to make end meet, then we would be okay. But men are not doing that. Men are not doing that. And this is why we say we need to do something to overthrow the system to make it fair to everyone. See, when women fight, everyone wins. When men fight, only a selected few win. And that's not fair to all men. So I'm not anti-man, but I have to listen to what men are saying so that we can be better. And men are complaining about women. So why should we be near you if you're complaining so much? That doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Do you
So let
really
me
think?
hold on real
Go
quick.
ahead.
I'm
Go ahead,
about to
brother.
just
Go
I'm
ahead.
about
Go
to say
ahead.
this last thing and
You
I'm
got it.
done.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Yeah, no, ain't no problem, bro. I was about to say, just I do appreciate you, Supreme. I think I've been all around this app though, and you gave a little bit more extra detail and telling me your point of view and stuff. So I do appreciate that you. It seemed like you've been into it and you dug deep into it. I just don't like the deflection and extra stuff though. So you answered it straight, and I can see where your point of view is coming from though. So all right, I appreciate you though.
Okay.
Kev,
So
let me ask you a question real quick. Hold on. Kev, do you
Yeah.
support the passport bro movement?
Oh.
Huh?
Oh.
Okay.
Yep, I feel like at the end of the day, on the center of both these problems, it's the people. It's the people themselves, not and blaming it on the opposite for the reasons of why we can't be better. That's the problem. So yeah, I
Okay.
don't support neither
Okay.
one of them.
Okay. Well,
what
I
is the
just say this
Passport
then.
Boys movement, if you don't mind me asking? What is that
It's a
about?
bunch of men that have been rejected by women. They can't get women in America. Decided they gonna go to another country instead of working on themselves. It's a bunch of men that are not selected, not don't feel protected, don't feel loved, and don't feel chosen. So they threw a hissy fit and they decided that black women are the worst women in the world. So they're gonna go find them another world. The black women in
That is so
America,
untrue.
the black women in America are the worst women in the world. So they're gonna go find them some foreign women that can't speak English or don't know any don't have any rights so that they can go ahead and use the little money that they making because they taught that all that they got is money and provision to be able to provision and protection to be able to take care of women. So they take their little bitty money that they got or however much they got and they go over there and they go boast their chest out and say, hey, I make this much money so the woman can go ahead and choose them. But then they still don't get chose because if they bring them back here, they still gonna get left. Go ahead.
Hey
Did the
T, I
men
like
start
what
the
you did
Passport
though.
movement
You thought
before
you
the
was gonna
women
get
started the
me.
4B?
No, I know. I was gonna ask you what was the difference, but you cool. You got I got you. Laugh. Go ahead, y'all.
My question was, did the men start their Passport Boys movement before the women started the 4B?
No.
The women started first.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And had mail order brides in the 1980s, sir. Men
Mm-hmm.
have been traveling across the waters to pick up women in boxes, to marry them and make them their little servants at home way before women even thought about it. You should Google what a mail order bride is. White men had that back in the 1970s and 80s. Black men just called it the passport bros. It's the same thing, men going overseas to take advantage of women who are poor. This is historic. Just say that you're not well read instead of saying no.
I do agree with you guys on that fact because a lot of foreigner women they'll DM me thinking that the life that's over here is better for them, and they'll be a lot more susceptible to messing around with a man that's from America, especially Nigerian women that I've noticed, or Jamaican women, Caribbean women. They have this perception that this life over here is a lot easier than the lives they live over there, when that's not absolutely true.
So I just want to chime in here. There's a young lady that I've been wanting to give roses to. She kind of came up here and just started telling everybody about her story. Jenny, if you're still in here, I don't know if you are, but I want to say I'm so happy for you. I'm proud of you that you're looking inward to try to fix your situation, that you're not looking to shift blame on anybody. I appreciate the fact that you are saying, hey, these are things that I did. I'm responsible for this, and it's up to me to clean this up and fix it. I love that. I'm a huge agent of self-accountability and keep going. Like, I know the sky's going to be, extremely high for you. The other thing that I want to say is I understand with, I believe her name is Jordan's mom. Sure I got that right? And what Supreme are saying about, hey, you know, men historically have done these things to women. Look at what's going on with birth control and all that jazz. I want to fast forward to today. Everyone in this room, I'm sure, is aware that you have men and women who are legislators that pass laws on things like birth control and some smortions and things of that nature. So again, it's not just completely on one side. And if we could just be objective about that, that would be great. The next thing that I want to talk about is the fact that I understand that we have men that go overseas looking for partners, but let's not negate the fact that there are women who travel to Jamaica from all across the world in search of getting their back blown out. Again, I'm an agent of
That's
keeping
one
things
book, and that's
objective.
how Stella got her groove back. That doesn't represent the majority of women, sir. That's one book written by Terry
Okay,
McMillan.
right.
And
That's one
everything
book
So
you
written by
said,
passport
Terry
bro,
bros do
McMillan.
not
It
represent the
was written by
majority of
Terry
women.
McMillan in the 1990s. It doesn't represent all black women who go on vacation, sir. Please
And
stop.
passport
Just
bros
But
do
I'm
stop.
not
saying y'all
represent all
just
black
said y'all
men.
didn't want to be talked over, man.
And they're doing it, right? So again, it's the lack of accountability for me. Just like passport, just like women going over to Jamaica isn't this thing. There's a whole industry that's predicated upon that. You should look at the flights coming from Germany to places like Jamaica and other countries in Eastern Europe that are going over to Jamaica. I'm not pulling these facts out of my behind. If you want to sit down and have this debate at a later date, I'd be more than welcome to, because I know the data behind it. All right. So again, for me, it's a lack of accountability across the board. When I see men that get up in arms because for whatever reason, I think men need to look inside and try to ask themselves how they can be better. When I look at women who are like, hey, we want to do this 4B thing, I'm like, hey, wherever you want to go, I'm all for it. But let's not sit down and make it seem like men are 100% at the epicenter of the problems that y'all have. There was a gentleman on here a second ago that was just basically saying, who put you into these situations that allowed you to pick and choose the mates that you pick and you chose? I was a younger man many, many years ago. I have had suitable partners, but when it came time for me to sit down and choose a mate, I had to change the criteria in what I was looking for in terms of a lifelong partner. We all need to take inner perspective, actually have some self accountability and move from that, because there's putting the blame on somebody else. It's a victim mentality. And as someone who is a minority and understands that whole entire trauma and that level, personally, I think it's weak. I'm not
brother.
saying like none
Let
of
me
this
ask
has
you a
happened to
question.
you, but I'm
You
simply
I
saying like
agree
there
with
comes a
you,
point in
bro.
time where you have to
Totally.
accept some form of accountability. That's all I'm saying. I will also say this in closing. We are the only people that talk about these things. Who eats first, the man or the woman? Should we go 50-50? Should men go their way? Should we go our way? We are the only people, by and
Now
large,
I'm
that
gonna
have these
stop you, baby, because that's
conversations.
not true. We're not.
That's not true.
Now this is
That's
By
tea
not
and
true.
time. The
large,
We're
host.
not the only
Everybody
people that
mute.
talk
Hold
about
on.
these things.
I
Everybody
want
mute,
to ask
please.
him a quick question.
The
I want to ask
fact
him
that
a
the
No,
serenity.
4B movement is
let me
successful in
speak,
Asia.
please. King, that's not true. It's so funny you say that, because I have other friends that are from different nationalities. I talk to the women that the Korean women, when I go get my lashes done or whatever, they all having these conversations. They all are. And there's another side of TikTok that they're having it. You just don't see it because you're not in that circle of people having those conversations. I'm sorry,
That's
I'm
fair.
trying to eat.
That's
So
fair. No,
they
you
do
good.
have
No,
these
that's fair.
conversations. They do.
That's fair. My other point that I want to say is while we are having these conversations, I don't know if there's any real measurables that are coming from them. I feel like I was having a conversation with a gentleman who was in his 60s. And he said, back in my day, we used to have these conversations. When you take a look at where we're at in terms of the socio-economic run, we're nowhere near the top, right? We've got so much work to do. And as long as we continuously have this inner race fighting amongst ourselves, we're never going to get where we're going. If you are someone who believes in, and when I say nuclear family, I mean there's a man, there's a woman, whether it be same sex, gender roles, whatever, whoever wants to adopt that identity, two people, perennial figures living in the house with their children. I think ultimately that is what creates stronger culture for us. I think that is what creates stronger communities for people who look like us. This is something that historically we've been missing. It hasn't been completely absent, but we could do a better job of boosting those numbers up. And I think it's funny that in a day and age where the rate of men and women who are black living in the same house with their children is going up, at a day and age where the marital rates amongst African Americans are going up, I feel like there's this attack on, we got to try to dismantle that. So if you're someone who believes in that nuclear family, if you're someone who wants to work together in unison with the partner, I assure you they are out there. But in order to change, you got to change. Like, you got
Can
to
I
start.
tell you
Question,
why that's a
Crypto.
problem? Nope.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I need you to go into these lives that's having these conversations about family, and all they're talking about is single people. They're not talking about how to keep families together. They're not talking about the struggles, the ups and downs of marriages. They're not even talking about family. They're only spending their time talking about single mothers, why they ain't shit, women that wear weave, women that wear makeup, why women that are promiscuous. So if you want us to people to be able to show us people like me that's a single woman that there are families and they need to start having more conversations about it. They say they don't have conversations about it because there's not enough people that are listening, but people will listen. They looking for numbers, and they decide that their purpose will go to the side. My purpose is to teach about family, but don't nobody want to listen. So I'll just drag women in the process. I'll just talk about why single mothers are problematic. I'll just talk about why y'all just too busy worried about Pookie and Ray Ray. I'll just talk about how intention versus attention is not the same thing. That I can go ahead and sleep with a woman that I'm not attracted to because I don't really want to be with her, but I'll risk my whole family. I'll risk my whole relationship to sleep with a woman that I don't like, that I talk about on a daily basis, and then tell my wife, hey, I don't like her anyway. I just want to screw her. This is what the men are doing. So if you want women to believe what you're saying, which I believe possible, y'all need to start talking about it more. Y'all need to start talking about how to keep families together, how to have unity versus selfish mindsets, the I versus the we. They're not talking about that. I don't even know where they're talking about it at. If you could lead me to that side of the TikTok, I would love to go. I would love to
Yeah,
see it because these men that say they part of the community, I just seen a whole man, and I'll say his name, Lord Knight Ward. I ain't got no beef with him. He was over there with Umar, Dr. Umar, after he said on his platform, I don't even like this man. But now he's taking pictures with him, asking people to ask the questions for him for clout and for views because he didn't say it on his own platform. I don't like him. I don't agree with him. I just got to be security to protect him. Yet and still, you want him to answer the questions for your platform to show that you connected to a man that everybody knows so that you can get numbers. See, these men ain't leaders. They are not leaders. They are eaters. They eat off of other people. They eat off of other information. They copy and paste. They regurgitate. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They just trying to figure out a way to make somebody follow where they don't even know where they going. So you need to go talk to them brothers. If you
Now, I have a
go
question. I
talk
have
to
a
them,
the
question
next
I'll
for
time
be
the
we
okay.
actually have
in
that
the chat.
conversation, I'd be more than
I
happy
have a
to
quick
tag you and bring you
question.
up into that live because we are having those
Thank you.
conversations.
Go ahead and share it with
That's,
me, baby.
I will.
I will
'Cause That's
come.
that's one of the reasons.
All
Hang on,
right.
that's one of the reasons why I actually opened up saying I'm an agent of accountability because I'm not just picking on one side, right? Like literally a minute and a half ago, I was saying there's work
Me
that
neither.
men need to do, just like there's work that women need to do. I think at least on that level, that's where you and I gel. I've been sitting back, obviously, cooking dinner for the kiddos, but just paying attention to the way that you are running things in your life. And there were times where if this was on somebody else's life, they might have let one of the participants slide with not answering the question. I like how you hold people accountable and say, hey, listen, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it. So in that regard, you and I, we definitely gel on that same level. Like I said, I'm big on accountability. I'm not just picking on one side. I want us to advance as a whole, and I understand a part of that is going to have those difficult conversations, but a part of that is us having the conversations and trying to get to a place where we understand one another and we're not coming across so visceral.
So
Yeah.
I got a
Thank
question.
you. Go ahead,
I
baby.
got a question.
No, it was somebody before you, Jonathan. Wasn't it
I done
Boston?
forgot my question.
I'm
Yeah, I
sorry,
think
Boston. You should have wrote it
it's
down. I got a
okay.
pen and a piece of paper too, but I've
So
been cooking
I
this
had a
whole
question
time.
for him real quick.
No, you can mute, baby, because you just got up here. Go ahead, Jonathan.
so
Okay.
my question is, everybody in here is black, right? My question is, how do we keep how do we keep and get black families together and to stay together and in a system that's designed to separate us and keep us apart? And why do we
Re-
keep expecting that same system to fix what they destroyed?
remove
The
dependent.
black
So
family never existed, sir.
That's not true.
okay,
That's not true.
strongly disagree with
That's
that.
not
I
true.
strongly disagree with that.
Provide the
So
historical
I live
evidence
in PG.
which suggests otherwise.
Okay, so I live in PG County, Maryland. It's the wealthiest black, or top five wealthiest black county in the country. Houses here go for like 1.2 million plus. We've seen great economic growth in this county and in Howard County. Two-parent household. What's gonna be strong? And Supreme, I want you to read Du Bois' Black Reconstruction. Since you
Have
said there's
read
no
that.
evidence, you have read that. Then you understand that immediately after slavery, the black family unit grew in places like Charleston, South Carolina, in places like Well, all over. I don't have it with me to really quote it that
You
well.
know, do you know the first order of business black men did in regards to the Supreme Court? What was their first order of business in regards to family? Who did they want to get access to, sir?
I'm going to say women. Well, I'm not going to
What
say
group,
I'm
what
going to say women.
demographic of women? Was it black women or white women?
It was white women.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I rest my case. Go ahead, sir. Everything. Thank you
So
for
like I'm
admitting that.
saying,
Thank you.
so like I'm saying, so like I'm saying, the Black Family Unit did exist. It does exist. I live in a community where it is a priority, where homeownership is a priority, and if we want to see that grow, then dependence on the system has to die down. It just does. We can't live in communities that require social safety. I'm not against social safety net programs, but you can't be in a community that the government is so highly regulatory. You understand what I'm saying? And that's going to involve really. There's a content creator on social media. She's working in Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and she is urging communities to not give up on the hood and buy in and sort of so gentrification doesn't take away a home ownership. And
Also, to answer, was somebody talking? Because if they weren't, I didn't hear anything. So if they were, just let me know. I don't want to interrupt anybody.
Go ahead and do misogyny.
oh no, did no one heard what I said?
We heard you, but you had cut off. Did you get a phone call?
Oh no, I didn't. I'm sorry. I was just saying that independence on government entities will strengthen the black family in sort of poor communities. I live in PG County. We have zero to no government assistance here. Communities being built, and they're growing strong. So the black family unit is a real thing, and it always was a real thing. Supreme, I know, and I don't want you to fall into the pitfall of universalizing evidence in history, because I can sit there and say, okay,
Oh,
like
sorry.
I could take the show Snapped, for instance, and say there's a fair deal of women who murder their husbands. And I can start my own movement that says I don't think men should marry women, or we shouldn't be with American women because of the show Snapped. American women will kill their
It's
husbands because
already
of
a
Snapped.
movement
You
for that,
understand what I'm
Private.
saying?
There's already a movement for that.
No, that's not the passport. That's not
It's
passport
not the
movement.
passport, bro.
Supreme,
There's a group of men on this app that says it. Don't marry BWs. Don't date BWs. Don't pay
Supreme,
them
I
any
want to
Right.
attention.
ask
They,
Supreme a
But I
they,
didn't say
question.
black. I
yeah.
said just American women in general,
Men
based
go your
on
own.
Well,
the
I'm
show
saying
Men
Snapped.
go your
BWs.
own way.
How far do you
It's
think?
called Men Go Your Own Way. That's a movement. I don't know if DJ Wormfood started that, but Men Go Your Own Way has been up and around forever, way before West 4B. And I know you know of Men Go Your Own Way. If you've ever been on Reddit, you can just type it in, and men have been doing Men Go Your Own way before women even thought about it.
Supreme, how far do you think this movement will get? How big do you think it will get?
With you guys talking, very big.
That's good. I think I like the movement.
Men
If
actually
it's
are helping.
empowering y'all, then
Black men
cool.
are actually helping me out. So the more you get mad about it, the more applications I get. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Allow me to clarify. I don't think people are getting mad about the movement again. I think it's a little bit of a lack of the objectivity. But I do want to answer the gentleman's question about what can we do
Hold on,
to.
I ain't trying, but how many questions though? Cause y'all been talking a long time, brother. It's been like 8 questions and 12 responses.
Yeah, but I definitely want to answer the gentleman's question about how do we actually improve the state of the black family. First, which I think is probably important, men, we need to understand that women clearly have reservations about men. We need to take a look at those reservations and see what can we actually do to make them not feel dismissed, but also walk into an era where we're actually trying to make critical steps to change that. Two, we need to have a conversation to say, hey, women, sometimes men have reservations about y'all, and people need to be able to be objective, look in the mirror and be like, hey, do they have a leg to stand on? And if those reservations are valid and legitimate, work on doing the work. I think that's probably the two biggest steps. And then when you get together to have these conversations, understand that the persons that sitting across the table from you, they're not sitting across the table from you in an adversarial kind of position. I think if we start to have these conversations where we're legitimately trying to find solutions and we're not trying to listen to reply, but we're trying to listen to understand, that will move our community miles. Just my 2 cents.
I gotta take accountability real quick. Supreme, I just want to apologize in advance. Your page had popped up while I was snooping while y'all was talking, so I just saved a lot of your images so I could use them.
If you use them, can you give me credit? Because a
You
lot of
know I
people are
will.
using them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
it's west4bmovement.com. But again,
Okay, y'all
this
can put it on
movement
there.
would have
I'll
never
put it on
took
there in the
off.
Canva. West4B movement.
Yeah, this movement would have never took off if black men didn't complain so much about it. So the thing with black men that I love is that they never stop talking. So we always know what they're thinking. So I wanted to thank
Well,
all of
I'm
the
gonna
black
piss them
men.
off with the backdrops. They you know, the men when the men will tell y'all
Yeah.
they slide down the
You can
wall
go
when I
to
start supporting something.
Yeah, you can go to my other page. I have more images. I can send you more images that,
Okay,
the
send
middle
me something with
finger.
your
Yeah.
website on it and stuff too.
Can I say
Yes,
something
I'll
real
do that for
quick?
you.
Um, I don't have a problem with the movement. It sounds good. I believe women should be able to empower themselves. But I'm gonna be honest. Listening to you on this platform right now, you sound a little more calm and you're explaining it a whole lot better than earlier this morning. You just sounded mad as hell. But now that I'm on this platform listening to you, you sound a little more calm and a little more relaxed, and you explaining it a whole lot better. And it don't come across as a movement for women that just fed up and don't want nothing to do with men. So,
Yeah, the pick me lady cursed me out. So that's what happened this morning. She kind of cursed me out really bad, and I had to defend myself.
so yeah, like I said, because I'm one of those people. I believe everybody should have an opinion. You shouldn't jump down nobody's throat for their opinion or how they feel. And like I say, women deserve to have an equal say in shit. They deserve to empower themselves if they need to step back. And I do agree, no woman should make a man the center of their attention, just like no man should make a woman the center of their attention. You have to center yourself, have a purpose, and move forward in life and do what you need to do. You are absolutely responsible for your own happiness. Nobody else. I'm saying that's a problem that's going around today. People just looking for other people to make them happy instead of just making their self happy, and then somebody else just add to their happiness. And a lot of people want instant gratification. Not just women, but men. You
Thank you,
hop in,
Jonathan.
you
Now
hop
we
in
gotta
these
let Trip go too. We
relationships.
gotta let Trip go next.
We hop in these relationships, and it's all sexually driven before we actually just sit down and get to know somebody. Know their personality, know their goals,
Okay,
know.
Jonathan, you monologuing now, damn it. We know this.
But that's just my. I'm done.
You
I'm
just
saying, I said
you
what I need
want
to say. Thank
you
you.
know we the
I,
lady already said she wanted to go next, so
I appreciate.
we got
I don't
we
want to take up too
appreciate
much
your
time, but
feedback.
thank you.
You
I'm
good,
done.
baby.
I'm done.
Go ahead, Trip.
Okay, so boom, I'm gonna make it real quick. Is black people the only ones that sit around and focus on what the hell they do? So the women and the men came up and was like, yeah, and we don't like it when y'all be doing A, B, and C. But when the fuck do you who hyper focuses on what they don't want instead of what they do want? Y'all be like, I don't get. That's the part that I don't get. Then hold on, because I've been writing down points real quick. Okay, boom. So they was like, yeah, these women is over here, they just trying to be lesbians and mess with each other, and they don't like the men. Why the hell are you chasing somebody that you don't you? If I don't think a motherfucker want me, I'm not pushing up on them trying to be the person that they like. If they tell me, look, I don't like thick bitches, I'm not over here talking about, hey, what if you look at me from the side? Nigga, it's okay. It's okay to not be everybody's cup of tea. And y'all keep pushing that shit like, well, what about so-and-so? And the men, they act like they don't care, and then they be tripping when the women get ready to leave. Well, you know what? That's going to be corny. Look at you over there sleeping with women. If you don't like women that sleep with women, then why is you concerned, sir? And I'm not talking about no one specific man on the panel. But if you don't like women that sleep
Thank
with
you,
women,
Shy.
then at that point in time, that should X her out of your vocabulary. We shouldn't hear you talking about her no more because clearly she's not your type when she went and laid down with that other woman. And the same thing, if I don't like men who don't take out the trash. So we know you ain't talking about none of the brothers that don't take out the trash and moving forward, ma'am. But y'all be hyper focused on what y'all don't want. And then y'all be the same ones on the internet all day with us talking about, I'm single, I'm single. No need to inquire why. All your ass do is manifest the shit you don't want. You don't ever tell niggas what you want. Okay, boom. Then another point, and then I'm done. So somebody had mentioned something about the birthing rate, and they was like, yeah, like people having kids and stuff like that. Let's be clear, because we're not in another country. We're in America, where it be high as fuck to live, and y'all know that people is not having kids because they can barely afford to live their motherfucking selves. People cannot afford their rent, their mortgage, their cars. Hell, even food. People is not having kids because men and women don't act right. They're not having kids because they're broke right now. The pull-out method is in full effect. Okay? And that's all, because I don't want to be long-winded.
Preach,
Love her.
I
sister.
agree with what you
This is
said. I
amazing.
agree.
Love her. Hi,
I like
everyone. My
I
name is
like her. I don't know
Carol.
who she is, but I
I'd
like
like
her.
to say
I
something,
agree with
Hey,
everything
please.
Trip.
you said.
He said I like her.
I think misogyny. Did you get a chance?
No, I'm gonna be quick as
Go
well. I
ahead.
just wanted to respond to crypto, but he dropped or whatever.
I'm so
But
sorry.
no, it's okay. So hey everybody. I just want to start off by saying that the 4B movement is particularly really off of the soul of men not acting right. That's just what it is. When Crypto was on here saying, "Oh well, it's on both of our part," that just sounds like a scapegoat and trying to opt out and cherry pick on little shit, because it's really because men don't know how to act right. Y'all keep saying choose better. So enough it and we learn cause and effect in fourth grade. I don't know why the fuck when we get grown, everybody just act like they knock their motherfucking head off their noggin and they don't know what the fuck going on. We learn cause and effect in fourth grade. So the cause, since y'all don't know how to fucking act right, since y'all don't want to do right, since y'all keep on trying to trap women with babies and not have women to have their own careers and all this other misogyny shit that's going on, now women are like, okay, you want us to choose better? How about we not choose y'all at all? It's that simple. Y'all keep finding these conspiracy theories, and it's not that serious. It's A, B, C, and D. It's just that simple. It's not that hard to grasp. It's not about women going against men and men. It's not no such thing as gender war. Women have been suppressed and oppressed by men for a very long time. I always ask men, like, give me an example where you lost your job because your boss asked you to sleep with him and you said no, and now he spread the shit around the office, and like it's women go through shit like that all day every day. We are objectified all day every day.
Now I
Somebody
ain't gonna let
always
you do that misogyny because I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. Y'all be objectifying these men too, but then y'all don't see it as a big deal. Y'all men tell y'all he too tired, and
oh
y'all
no
talk about
no
I'm gonna
women
take it
do it
anyway.
too.
Hold on, give me a second. We not gonna just sit here and make this a gender thing because we gonna make this a people thing. At the end of the day, like people killing people, people objectifying people. It ain't just no man woman thing. I'm not gonna let y'all. I'm not gonna let y'all keep doing this shit.
Did he
Like
prove that?
it, like you will see a woman be. I got a post that's on Facebook right now. They won't even let me post it on TikTok. And it's asked if your man say no to you, that he don't want to have sex, what you gonna do? And 95% of the women say they gonna take it. And people thought that was okay. But
Oh,
if
that's
it was
not
the other
okay
way
at
around,
all.
that's what I'm trying to say. So it's not a gender thing. It's a people thing. Let's just be real with that. But I respect the women saying, I'm gonna get myself together. I'm gonna remove myself. I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna do the work. But we're not gonna keep blaming our poor choices because we refuse to heal. We refuse to do the work. We keep picking the wrong type of people. We keep sleeping with the wrong type of people. We keep entertaining the wrong type of people. We keep making the wrong men pay for your daddy issues that you got. My daddy wasn't in my life, so I'm gonna make you be my daddy. He ain't even signed up to be your daddy, but he don't even know that he with the job of being your father, and you making him pay for something that he ain't even do. So we
Right.
have to work on us. Fuck them. We not blaming them. We working on inner selves.
Right, and I'm not blaming.
Okay.
I'm just saying in particular of different scenarios of why the movement has been up and raw and why it's been so prevalent, because we're here. Well, here's what I'm coming from. We're asking men to, hey, take accountability and be men. Talk to your homeboys. Stop talking about who y'all slept with last night. Talk to your homeboys like, bro, you need to go to therapy. You need to talk about that. That's where we coming from. Y'all see, I seen too many videos of women getting punched in the face, women getting abused and all this type of stuff, and y'all just stand there. Y'all don't do nothing, and then as soon as women say, "Oh, 4B movement," or we don't feel safe around men. It's not all men. It's not this. I mean, if women sit up here getting their ass whooped by a whole grown ass men and you don't do nothing, that's saying that you scared of men too. That's all we saying. If you sitting up here saying and you taking a title, if you putting that name tag on
That's not
that
what that's
I'm a
saying, baby.
man.
That's saying that if I help this woman, let's be honest though, Trip. Like let's be honest with it. Yeah, a lot of men are scared to die because the first thing that they do, they help a woman, and a woman to sit there and say, "Well, why you help me? I'ma take him
Exactly.
back. Why ain't nobody asked you to get in my business?"
She gonna join in on him to help him.
I agree with her to a
So
point though, T.
I agree with her to a point too, but we got to look at it from the both because there's a video on YouTube, y'all, that the women are. You see the woman hitting the man and nobody does anything. They laughing, but the man raised to a woman and everybody jumps in.
And
It's not
sometimes
taken
they don't.
seriously.
Because y'all remember that lady in Chicago where
Yes,
she got into it with that man. Her 14-year-old
yes,
son had to step up. Niggas was leaving
yes.
the
I was
restaurant.
upset about that.
So
Hmm.
I say it's about the. I get both of y'all. I get both of y'all saying.
I get her perspective too because it's and I will I can only speak for me because it is a lot of toxic women out there that really be doing some wild shit because even with I would say inappropriate women, I don't want to say the word, but inappropriate women that be you know being attracted to children and certain stuff like that. I hold them bitches accountable. Like any
Yeah,
woman with a
yeah,
right
we got
mind,
it.
I
That's
hold
why
them
I say it's a
accountable.
people thing, misogyny. That's what I was just trying to say. Hold on, for the people that saying this fist riding, it's called having your own mind. It's called seeing things from another perspective. It's called not being in a box. That's what it's called. People that call it fist riding are people that don't know how to think for themselves and they copy and paste shit or they follow the leader. I don't follow the leader. I think for myself. That means I can see this situation and this situation and see both of them the same way and be understanding with both perspectives. That's what that's called.
Yeah, and
Right.
I don't
that's
live in a
So
that's
box, and I refuse
so
to. Go ahead.
so yeah, that's all I was saying for the 4B movement because at the same time, what he was trying to say, like he was trying to kind of generalize everything, and it at some point it is a people thing, but if it's all these women decentering men, at this point you have to look at yourself and be like, okay, what is the reason? Now we're not saying like we're not trying to do what men do and blame the world problems on women, but at the same time you got to look at yourself. If a whole group of women, and this why I be telling men too, like you can't say, well, that's who you deal with, this how you da 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 da. Like I see a lot of men who come on TikTok and be like, oh, let me put y'all women on game when he don't want you and stuff da da da. Instead of telling that man, like, if you don't want that girl, leave her alone, be better da da da. They don't do that. They will rather go in there, talk to women and be like, well, this how you know he don't want you, and this that and the third and da, 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 which is good information and it helps, but I would rather you go to that man and be like, don't dog her out, don't sit up here and cheat on her, don't sit up here and put your hands on, like, hold other men accountable so
So
that we.
misogyny. The people are saying that you have just centered men. Supreme. What do you think about that? Being it is your movement. So the people are in the comments saying that this whole thing has flipped to now centering men. And being that you're the woman that created the movement, what do you think about these kind of conversations?
So I
You can
created the
elaborate.
West 4B movement. It was not to decenter men because decentering men actually centers them. So I just wanted to make a space for women who wanted to adopt the 4B principles: no sex, no marriage, no dating, and no relationships. There's nothing about that has to do with centering men. Instead, it's removing yourself from a toxic situation. Women,
Yep.
how can I explain this? The reason why, this is my opinion, the reason why I don't think men, especially black men, respect black women is because they are always up in the face of someone who they kind of know doesn't really like them that much, just basis on what we see in society. And again, host, if you and I were in a relationship or a friendship and you kind of don't really like me, but every day I'm up in your face, I'm declaring my love for you, I'm holding you up on my shoulders, I'm telling everyone that you are the best, you're going to look at me like a weirdo. You're going to look at me like a weirdo. You're going to kind of be like, why is she doing this? I don't even really like her all that much. And I think that black women, and this is again my little theory, they have been finessed into believing that one, they are matriarchal, Two, they are magical, and three, they are God. And the reason why this is so dangerous, I don't subscribe to, this is what I don't subscribe to. Okay, in regards, this is only in regards to Black women. This business of Black women claiming to be magical, Black women claiming to be God, and Black women claiming to be matriarchal. You cannot have a matriarch existing under a patriarchy at the same time. It's not a true matriarch. And the business of why Black women were sold that they are magical and that they are God is because if I need for you to remain still, I'm going to give you lip service so that you can endure and not question. The business of telling Black women that they are magical makes them endure more bullshit than they should. Because again, you believe, hey, I'm magical. I can change Black men because I'm God, right? So we digest these things that are given to us to kind of pacify us from the bullshit that's not being talked about. They call you magical and they call you God and they call you a matriarch, but your blood is in the street. They're burying you hand over fist every day. So you're not a matriarch. You're not a
I
god. You're
don't
not
know if we think
special.
that,
You are a
Supreme. I don't think
just
we.
let
I
me.
don't.
Just let me.
Okay.
I
Okay.
have to. I don't know if you're familiar with like bell hooks or like the other like wild feminist writers, but they sell Black women things to keep them pacified from removing themselves from bad situations. The Black community has not supported Black women hosts. The Black community has actually shitted on Black women, and I don't think Black women know this because, again, they're constantly being told that they're magical and that they're wonderful, but you're not treated as such in real life. This is when I say men are delusional and they create these delusional fantasies that women participate in. That is one of them. You're a goddess, you're a queen, you're a magical, but we're not treating you like that, though. So then what are you then? You understand what I'm saying? It's like,
Hey, can I say something, please? Just to add on what Supreme is saying, Black women have never not worked in real life. I'm from Europe, I'm French, and all over the world, whether it is via colonization in Africa, slavery in Europe, slavery in the US, Black women have always worked. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay. Nobody
When
here
the
said they didn't.
men
So
were
please don't
doing
come
the
in here
fields,
bringing.
they were
Please
babysitting
let's
these white
listen. Listen.
babies.
Listen. Listen.
So
Listen.
today,
Listen. Oh my
when
God.
Black women are saying, you know,
All right. Go ahead, Supreme.
Can I?
I just want to know, was that Mrs. Doubtfire?
I have no idea.
Please, Trill. She is so funny.
Is she going?
Yeah, she gone.
here, but the lady was talking.
She gone.
I dropped her.
I have a question to what she just said. Like the black community doesn't support black women, but now you all are aligning yourself with other races that have talked
Hold on,
about you,
Kari. I dropped
degraded
her
you.
because she was going somewhere that we hadn't even spoke of. We never said black women in here in this conversation. Nowhere in this conversation did we say black women don't work, didn't work. We haven't spoke of that. So when she came up saying things, it's like she again, she was agreeing with Supreme so that she can finally get her point in. If you guys notice people that don't listen in the conversation, they just want to speak. They come up with their mic unmuted. They try to talk first. Then you mute them. They will unmute as if they're agreeing with you just so they can get a word in. They don't care what you're saying. They don't care what the conversation is about. They just want to say what they have to say. Even if it's not on point, even if it's not in alignment with the conversation. Those type of people I drop.
Yeah, that's just pushing their own agenda. That's what it is.
Well, what I was saying was, how can y'all align yourself with women that have not supported y'all also? Because you made the statement just a moment ago about black women not being supported by the black community. But y'all in agreement right now with YT women, Asian women, Somalian women, and we have seen it with our own eyes of other races disgracing y'all, talking about y'all weaves, how y'all trying to be like them and
You got an
everything.
echo,
How
Kari.
can,
Somebody got an echo.
I just want to know how can y'all align yourself with other groups like that when they didn't support y'all in the beginning or the end right now?
So, can I answer that real quick? So,
Supreme is the one who started the movement. Maybe
Right.
She's the one
Um,
that got to
so
be the one to answer.
So here's the
I'm not
thing.
looking for the hood
This
answer right
is,
now.
and again, I think I spoke, I think I said this to you before, Mr. Corey. One of the caveats of patriarchy is racism. In order for you to divide people, in order for you to control people, you have to divide them. One of the ways that people were divided, especially women, was via race. And this, when I say the black community, I mean black men. In regards to the societal betrayal, in regards to the treason that black women have gone through in the black community, this is at the hands of black men. Black women are not unaliving black women in record number. No, black men are the ones who are unaliving black women, black children, and other black men. The biggest threat to black men is another black man. And this is statistics. So in regards to that, you are trying to, again, what I've seen brothers do in the past, you're trying to weaponize a group of women against each other based on their race. Because if they're separated, then you have access to both and that they don't speak. So even though you know, because you just said Korean women say your hair weaves and this and that and the third. If you were in Korea right now, you would pick up a Korean wife. So even though she talks bad about us, you would still date her. And we've seen that. Right?
No, I
Black
won't.
men
No,
will,
I won't.
no,
You can't
be
tell me what
honest,
I date because
be honest,
I'm not. Listen. I promise you,
be honest.
and I running off the road right now. I'm not into any other race but a black woman. So don't sit here and tell me what I would date. I'm not into any other race, and I put that on my life right now. I'm not into other races. So don't say if I'm in Korea, I would take
Interested,
a
they may not
Asian
be
wife.
interested
That's
in,
not true.
they may
Yeah,
not
so
be interested in you, sir. But if there was a hot one and she was on the block and she
It
was a
doesn't
Korean
matter
honey,
if they're
you would pull
interested
up.
in me. I'm not
It
interested
does
yeah,
in
matter.
them.
that's cool though.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not
she,
interested
you
in
ain't
them.
got to prove yourself to. I mean, you ain't got to prove that, man. Oh, I was just about to say that, and I'm glad she did mention that though too. And oh yeah, I did want to mention that part about that what you just saying. People do have a problem with being balanced and being neutral and stuff. That gonna be crazy. It's like they got to either be far left or far right. I feel like that's a lot of our problems and stuff. Well, if you're not on my side, that means you're against me or you're not speaking. Like I feel like that people like that is a problem too. I'm glad, I'm glad whatever if they part of that movement, do your thing. But what I was about to say is that Supreme. So I'm listening to you earlier and all that stuff, and you was telling me all the problems and stuff. And it's like every time I hear somebody up here, it's like a sad story or something like that. But at the end of the day, we all have problems. You know what I'm saying? I can literally come on here and talk about all the stuff I go through and all this other stuff, but guess what? They're gonna make competition with that too. That's another part of our problems. But my thing is, so according to the logic that you use, the reason why that they're doing this movement and stuff, should men decenter men too?
Go ahead. I don't think they care about what men do. I think that's the thing. Like, and I know she should be answering this. I think that's what y'all not getting. It's like you men are trying to compare and contrast, and I don't think the women care what you do at this point. Like I even seen lives of men saying we're gonna be celibate. Good, because you never have been. A lot of y'all ain't never. You have, Kev. But a lot of men don't even know what it's like to keep their pickle in their pants. A lot of men don't know what it's like not to sleep with random women. A lot of men don't know what it's like to be single and abstinent. They just don't know. So sure, go ahead. Maybe you should try it. Maybe you can work on you. But it's like good. I don't know if they think that it's making a woman mad or not, but I would hope you do try to keep your penis in your pants. I would hope you do try to practice celibacy. I would hope you do try to practice self-love. If this movement is making you want to practice loving yourself, then damn, she did her job. Y'all might want to thank her. Because she's making men now say, should we be celibate? Well, damn, if that all it took for women to say they going to close their legs, for men to say they going to close theirs too? Well, Supreme, hats off to you. Hey, Easy. I mean, you did your big one.
Mm-hmm. So Supreme, because I'm trying to see like if that the movement basically trying to avoid how the government is and all that stuff. Would you let men join? You know what I'm saying? Because we probably going through the same
Oh,
problem.
start your own shit. No,
No,
Supreme.
sir.
Stand on
No.
Absolutely
business.
not.